In every generation, there are politicians who chase power, and then there are those who chase truth. In the Gambia, few names carry as much respect as Halifa Sallah. For more than 4 decades, he has been a teacher, a critic, and a guide. A man who entered politics not to rule, but to reform. A man who spoke when others chose silent. Halifa is often described as the most consistent and the most trusted politician in the Gambia. But even with his long record of honesty and discipline, he never became a president. This is the story of a man who believed that politics should be about education, not manipulation. A man who spent his life trying to awaken his people, even when they didn't fully understand his message. Halifa was born in 1953 in Serekunda, the largest town in the Gambia. He grew up in a time when the country was still young, searching for its own identity after independence. From an early age, Halifa showed a deep interest in reading and critical thinking. He asked questions about leadership, fairness, and justice. After finishing school, he won a scholarship to study in the United States, where he earned a degree in sociology. There he saw the realities of racism, inequality, and the struggle of black people in a white-dominated society. These experiences shaped his mind. He returned to the Gambia in 1977, not to enjoy the comfort of a foreign degree, but to serve his people. He worked at the Department of Social Welfare as a social worker. Every day, he met the poor, the struggle, and the voiceless. He realized that their suffering came from deeper problems: poverty, ignorance, and dependence. He began to believe that real change could only come through education and political awareness. In the late 1970s and early 1980s were years of change across Africa. Revolutionary ideas from leaders like Kwame Nkrumah and Thomas Sankara were spreading. Young Africans were questioning old colonial systems and looking for new ways forward. Halifa joined a group called NMINCC, the People's Movement for Independence Against Neocolonialism and Capitalism. It was made up of young thinkers who believed Africa must stand on its own feet, free from the foreign control. He worked with other activists to publish a newspaper called The Voice of the Future, which spoke about justice and independence. But in 1983, Halifa and others were arrested for distributing the paper. They were charged and accused of trying to bring down the government. After a long trial, they were freed, but Halifa unfortunately lost his job. He had a choice to return to a quiet life or continue fighting through ideas. And guess what? He chose to fight. In 1986, Halifa and few others, including Sidi Jatta and Shaibu Toure, formed a new political party, the People's Democratic Organization for Independence and Socialism, PDOIS. It was a party built on education, equality, and discipline. Halifa became the Secretary General in 1987. The group launched a newspaper called Foria, meaning freedom, to teach Gambians about their rights and responsibility. PDOIS was different from other parties. It refuses to give out money, rice, or t-shirts. It didn't organize big rallies with music and gifts. Instead, it focused on educating the mind. For many Gambians, it was hard to understand what type of a party is this that doesn't give out meat and do parties on rallies. But for Halifa, it was the only honest way to do politics. In 1994, Yahya Jammeh, a young military officer, led a coup that overthrew President Dawda Jawara. It was a turning point for Gambian history. Many politicians rushed to join the new regime, hoping for position or safety. But for Halifa and Sidia, they refused. They said they could not be part of a government born through a military coup. Because of this, they were detained several times and even put on trials. The government banned political activities, but Halifa and his team continued to publish Fourier as a partisan paper, meaning he doesn't take sides. It remains as neutral as possible. His writing remained calm, logical, and firm. He spoke about law, democracy, and the rights of citizens, not through insults or anger, but through education. He became one of those voices that everybody could trust in any given condition, especially those uncertain times and chaotic moments. Halifa first ran for parliament in 1987 and 1992, but lost both times. Still, he never gave up. Finally, in 2002, he won the Serekunda Central seat in the National Assembly election. It was the year when the main opposition party, UDP, boycotted the election, giving PDOIS more possibility and visibility. With only 2 members, PDOIS became the biggest opposition group in parliament. Halifa became the minority leader. He stood out for his style, calm, intelligent, and always prepared. While others argued emotionally, Halifa debated with facts, sections of the constitution word for word to make his point. He didn't shout or play to the crowd. He educated, he explained, and put out facts. Even those who disagree with him respected his discipline and focus. In 2002, Halifa and other opposition leaders formed a coalition called NADD, the National Alliance for Democracy and Development. The goal was to unite all opposition parties to face Yahya Jammeh's ruling APRC. However, joining NAD led to his expulsion from the parliament. The Supreme Court ruled that holding membership in 2 parties was unconstitutional. Many Gambians saw the move as unfair, a way to silence the opposition. But Halifa remained calm. He ran again, and in that election, he won with a strong margin. In 2006, he ran for president under NAD. He received around 6% of the vote. It was a disappointing result, but did not stop him from continuing to educate and organize. Halifa continued to face constant pressure and challenges on the Jammeh's regime. He was detained on several occasions, once accused of spying, another time simply for visiting journalists who had been arrested. Each experience seemed designed to break his spirit, yet he always emerged more composed, more determined, and more focused than ever before. Unlike many politicians who respond with anger or bitterness, Halifa met suppression with calm resilience. He never raised his voice, never sought revenge. When asked why he kept going despite the repeated arrests and restrictions, he simply replied, "Politics is not about power, it is about service." Those words sum up what he stood for. During those years, PDOIS was small but firm in their belief. Its members, teachers, students, and the civil servants were those who believed that ideas could change society more than money or favor ever could. They were not influenced by material gain. They were bound by principles. And in a political climate dominated by fear and loyalty to authority, that made PDOIS stand out as a rare symbol of intellectual resistance. In the year 2016, Gambians were growing tired of Jammeh's 22-year-old rule.
To serve only 3 years.
For the first time, all opposition parties united under one banner, the Coalition 2016. Halifa became the coalition's spokesperson. He was the calm voice explaining the coalition's plans and defending its unity. When Jammeh lost election, the IEC later announced that there was some errors in the results, but Jammeh, still on the losing end, refused to step down.
I will not accept the results.
And the whole country almost came upside down. Halifa addressed the nation with strong but measured words. He said, if Jammeh refuses to hand over power by January, he would be treated as a rebel leader. Those words gave Gambians courage. They helped keep the transition peaceful. After Adama Barrow took office, Halifa was offered a position in the government, but he turned it down. He preferred to remain independent, saying his role was to keep the government accountable and not to join it. In 2021, Halifa Sallah announced he would run for president again. At the Independent Electoral Commission, during his nomination, he made an emotional speech that touches many Gambians. He said, "This would be my last attempt to save this country, the Gambia. It was left to the Gambians to choose what they want. It was the moment of truth. The man who had given everything to his country saying goodbye to the struggle." His words were calm but very heavy in meaning. They reminded Gambians that their future was now in their own hands. Halifa ran a clean and peaceful campaign. He focused on issues like youth empowerment, education, and self-reliance. He refuses to attack his opponents. But when the results came out, he once again lost. He accepted the defeat with dignity. For him, the mission was not about winning power. It was about teaching a nation how to think ethically and critically. Today, Halifa Sallah has retired from active politics, but his influence remains strong. He is seen as a teacher, a man who built his politics on truth, knowledge, and honesty. He never uses tribalism. He never offered money for votes. He never spoke to divide. Many Gambians believe that even though he did not win election, he helped shape how people understand politics. Political scientist Ahmad Jeng once said, "Halifa was popular with the educated few, but failed to win the support of the masses because they never understood his politics." Still, Halifa's supporters believe that one day Gambia will look back and realize the values of his message. He showed that leadership is not just about ruling, it's about reasoning. He proved that politics can be clean, disciplined, and based on truth. Halifa's story is one of courage, patience, and conviction. He stood firm during difficult times and uncertain times. He refuses offers of power. He always spoke the truth even when it cost him votes. He believed that freedom without education is fragile, that real independence begins in the mind. He once said that people who did not understand their rights will always give them away. Halifa may not have become a president, but he became something even greater, a guiding light for the nation. His name will always be remembered not for the office he held, but for the integrity he kept. For the nation, the Gambia, his life remains a reminder that leadership is not measured by victory, but by values. And that even in politics, honesty still matters. This is his story.